This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for June 27th, 2023. Your daily entertainment headlines, industry info, and everything rock. Another day, another Mick Mars headline, the former Motley Crue guitar player reflecting on a difficult period that he faced in the early 2000s when the band was on hiatus and he was living in a mold-infested home. He said he hit rock bottom shortly before September 11th. The 72-year-old talking about drinking excessively and starting to take OxyContin, Vicodin, and Lortrap. That is when the deadly mold began spreading. Mars said he didn't venture outside of his house very often, and he wasn't on tour and he wasn't recording. Saying, quote, "I used to see giant reptile aliens at the end of my bed and little hairy aliens. At night, cat people used to come in, the kind my mother used to warn me about might come and steal my breath. Luckily, I figured out that I was hallucinating. Other people never do and wind up jumping out of windows." Mick Mars, whose real name is Robert Allen Deal, eventually moved out of the mold-infested home shortly before the band's 2005 reunion tour. He also underwent hip replacement surgery. Metallica has announced takeover events during the 2023 North American leg of the band's M72 World Tour. As part of the two-night stands in cities around the U.S. and Canada between August and November, there'll be Film Fest, pop-up stores, Ross Halfin book signings, all within my hand, sponsored opportunities to give back, as well as live music by Bastardane, the band featuring drummer Castor Hetfield, the son of Metallica frontman James Hetfield. And Otto, the three-piece band featuring Ty Trujillo, son of Metallica's bassist Robert Trujillo, along with tribute bands Damage Incorporated, Motor Breath, and Sandman. Metallica saying we're just a little over a month away from the North American kickoff of the M72 tour in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And you know what? When we're in town for more than a day, we've got to make a weekend out of it. So we've got details for you on many of the takeover activities as the tour travels across the country this summer and fall. Falling in reverse, frontman Ronnie Radke has flipped the script on Papa Roach's classic Last Resort, turning the song into an emotional powder keg of a piano ballad, and social media is buzzing. Ronnie Radke saying, quote, "Thank you to Papa Roach's Jacoby Shaddix for the blessing to do this. I wanted to reimagine one of the biggest rock songs of the last 20 years because lyrically it's so powerful and resonates," he said. "I got the blessing from Jacoby, and I think that Papa Roach are one of the nicest, humble, and most down-to-earth bands to date, and it inspires me to keep going. Since they have been so successful for so many years, this is me paying homage in the best way that I know how." Billy Idol may have teamed up with two former Sex Pistols for his latest project, but he says he's steadfast in the decision not to perform the punk band's classic Anarchy in the UK. Generation Sex is the hybrid group featuring Billy Idol and bassist Tony James of the band Generation X, joining forces with Sex Pistols guitarist Steve Jones and drummer Paul Cook. Billy Idol saying we're not doing Anarchy in the UK. It's such a Johnny Rotten song, God Save the Queen and Pretty Vacant, I can get away with those. Alice in Chains have announced fall U.S. headlining tour dates around their shows with Guns N' Roses. Their dates with GNR kick off on September 23rd in Kansas City and wrap up in Vancouver, British Columbia on October 16th. The solo dates include stops in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Anaheim, California, Reno, Nevada, Boise, Idaho, and Spokane, Washington. The Used have announced a cross-country headlining tour this fall with special guests Sleeping with Sirens and Dead American. The tour makes 24 stops throughout the United States. Tickets for the entire tour go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. local. That includes a stop in Boston on September 13th at Roadrunner. Tony Iommi has revealed that Black Sabbath were approached to play a reunion set at the inaugural Power Trip Festival, but he turned the offer down. The massive festival, scheduled for October 6th through the 8th at the Empire Polo Club in Indio, California, the home of Coachella. The unprecedented lineup, including Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, AC/DC, Ozzy, Metallica, and Tool. Iommi confirming on Eddie Trunk that Black Sabbath were considered for the fest, but the guitarist turned the idea down himself, mainly due to uncertainties concerning the health of the original lineup members, including Ozzy. He also added he was surprised when Ozzy ended up being booked for the gig, saying, quote, "It's great. I hope he can do it, and I hope it'll be really good. He really wants to do it, and he's really trying to pull and get himself back together. He's gone through such a hard time and a lot of stuff lately. It's such a shame, really. He's still fighting there." Iommi said he isn't opposed to Sabbath playing a one-off reunion with the original lineup, which was the idea for the Power Trip performance. That follows recent comments from Geezer Butler ruling out such a reunion. A list of 31 entertainment professionals have been selected to receive stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame as part of the class of 2024. Actress Michelle Yeoh and Chadwick Boseman will join musical artists including Brandy Norwood, Charles Fox, Darius Rucker, Def Leppard, Dr. Dre, Glenn Ballard, Gwen Stefani, Sammy Hagar, Toni Braxton, and the late, great Otis Redding. Classic rock fans, the Zombies are headed to the U.S. for 20 dates this fall in support of their 7th album, Different Game, that was released just this year. The tour kicks off on October 1st in Vancouver, British Columbia, wraps up in Philly on October 29th, and that includes a stop on October 26th in Beverly, Mass. At the Cabot Theater. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 159, featuring Chris Voss from The Record Company, is available now.
When you save on auto insurance for driving safe with USAA Safe Pilot, you'll feel like a big deal, even in a traffic jam. Save up to 30% with USAA Safe Pilot. Restrictions apply.